What up? So today we gonna make some cheesecake stuffed strawberry cake muffins. It's a mouthful, I know, but you know what? It was so delicious. So first off, since I don't usually bake desserts, I'm just gonna go ahead and use the store box of strawberry cake. Super moist. I use the Dunkin'. I believe I would use the Dunkin' Hine. I use two. So I use the Dunkin' and then I also use the Betty Crocker to make another batch. And we're going to see how that tastes later because I made it today. This video was from a few days ago. Anyway, so go ahead and basically what I'm doing right now is basically just using the fork to get all those chunks out. Because don't nobody want no chunky cake. You don't want no chunks in your cake. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and put all the liquids in. Did 3 eggs. Did what the box said. 3 eggs, like a half a cup of vegetable oil and a cup of water. And we're going to mix it. Mix it well. Okay. Now I did 2 types of mixing when it comes to this. So I did it with the hand mixer first. Okay. Just kind of make sure, everything was in there and it wasn't powdery no more. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. My hand mixer, it said to do it on low speed, but my hand mixer only go on high. So that's why I said I wanted to do it 2 different ways just in case. So I went ahead and did it with the hand mixer first, and then I used a fork just to make sure I got all the extra, just to basically provide extra smoothness, to make sure everything was smoothed out. The fork is just to make sure of it. Because the hand mixer just to make sure it's mixed well, and then this just to extra make sure that it's mixed well, basically. Okay, so I'm just mixing. It was such a pretty they came out so pretty. Now the reason I came up with this idea is because I wanted a strawberry cake and I wanted a cheesecake at the same time. And then originally I was gonna make a cake, which I still attempt to do. I still am going to make an attempt to do in the future, but I couldn't find the cake pan I wanted, cake pans. So I had muffin pans. So I was like, you know what? I make cheesecake bites. Let's make them into muffins. Boom. So now, once I got done with the strawberry cake batter first, you just gonna see me right here, just putting them in the cupcake liners. Now these I just got from Walmart. They got the parchment paper inside already, so you ain't gotta worry about them sticking. Cause basically they're gonna come out like cupcakes, but really, they're going to be like muffins. Cupcake muffins. Cake muffins. Whatever you want to call them. It's a mouthful either way when I'm trying to describe what this is. But you're going to see what I mean when I say cheesecake stuffed. Because I merged them together, but I just kind of went with my gut on this. I tell you, I don't measure nothing for real. Besides, when it comes to stuff like this, I will measure. But the cheesecake, I eyeballed. Okay, I make my cheesecake differently every time, and not really though. I still use some same ingredients, like eggs. When it comes to eggs and stuff like that, you use the same. Now, since I'm only stuffing, basically since the cheesecake is being the stuffing for these, I didn't have to use that much ingredients. So I did 1 full block of cream cheese, and then mixed that up. Then I added in an egg, just 1, and also mixed that up. And mixed it well. For a minute, it started getting this like kind of cheesy texture. But either way, we add more ingredients because since this is a cheesecake, we want it to be as smooth as possible. Okay? Smooth as possible. So I'm just using my hand mixer and just mixing the cream cheese and the egg up. Okay? Mix it well. I just want it smoothed out. Then I ended up adding in some, I'm using confectionery sugar. Confectioners? Confectionery. You know what I mean. The confectioner sugar. That sugar. It's over there by the sugar. It's not the regular, just grainy sugar. It's the kind of powdered sugar. I'm using that. And I eyeballed it. So you can start off with like a half a cup and then just basically make sure you're tasting it. Then I added in a couple tablespoons of vanilla extract and we're mixing it up. Mix it well. You see it's starting to get real creamy. We're getting that cream cheese, cheesecake texture. I couldn't even get the word out. We getting the texture that we want. Okay, and don't worry about the sides. I am gonna be using the little spatula thingy to get all. You'll see. You're gonna see. We're gonna use the spatula thing to get all of the cheesecake off the edges, so everything will be in the middle of like where everything else at. You know what I mean? You're gonna see that thing. They my spatula. Just smoothing it out. Make sure you got all the stuff off the sides. And then, like I said, you should be tasting this as you go. If it's not the sweetness of your liking, just add some more sugar. That's all you gotta do. Just add some more. But eyeball it. Make sure you're tasting it as you go. Okay, I'm always gonna give you from an eyeballer's perspective, because I tell you, I don't measure. My spirit and my ancestors just moved me. So I'm always explain it exactly how I did it to you, so you don't get it mixed up and you don't get confused, because it's easy to get confused. Okay, but if you're watching what I'm doing, you should be good. Now, I saw somebody do this method with putting the filling inside of the Ziploc bag, because I don't got that baker stuff, the little thing, the cream, I don't got that thing. So we doing it the old-fashioned way. So you put it over the cup, line it with the cup, and then you put it in. It makes it easier for you to put it in the bag. I like this method, because when you're trying to do it just holding the bag and trying to stuff the filling in there, it don't work like that. So that's how you do it. Stuff it in there, and we're gonna go ahead and cut that little corner right there. Cut that, and now you finna see what I mean when I say I'm stuffing it. So I start in the middle, pull some out, like not pull some out, but pour some. You see what I'm doing? You see what I'm doing? So I started in the middle, squeezed a little bit out, squeeze some of the filling out, and then I lined it in the at the top. So I made sure that it's stuffed enough so it could still be in the middle of this, but then make sure that it's on the top, because I still want to taste my cheesecake. I don't want no little dollop of cheesecake in the middle of this. Okay. So I made sure I put a lot of cheesecake, and just so I didn't waste no batter, I made sure to empty the bag. So they might have been overstuffed, but it's fine. It's gonna get ate regardless. Okay. Now this method, I'm just doing getting the toothpick and basically swirling it around. Making sure it's evenly in there, so it don't just look like. I'm curious to see what it would look like if I would have left it like that, like just without doing the toothpick method and swirling it around. But I didn't want that. I want to make sure it was all over. I wanted them to be pretty, and they would have been pretty like this too. But you gonna see what I mean. You gonna see what I mean. Going to just do each of them, smooth them out, make them look nice. That's all we doing here, is making them look nice. Make sure they evenly just spread throughout the thing. Okay, spread throughout each muffin, each one. Okay, do it as many times you got to. Okay, just make sure you got them all evenly, just swirled. And this is how they look when I was done swirling them around. Okay, you're gonna go ahead and put them in the oven. I did it on 325. Look, see, this is what I mean. Look how pretty they look. It's so pretty. I love it. So I put it on 325 for I'll say 15 to 20 minutes, but check it. So I did do the toothpick thing where I put it in the cake part to make sure it was done. And that's how I determined that it was done. So that's why I say 15 to 20 minutes. But make sure you check it and do the toothpick method and stick it in the cake and make sure that thing come off clean, and you're done. And you're done. And I put them in the refrigerator because I like my strawberry cake in the refrigerator too, just like my cheesecake. So this worked out. Okay, so now I'm just doing the storage method. I didn't bite that right there, okay? It came off ripped. You ain't got to believe me if you don't, but I'm not just finna bite the corner of no cupcake muffin like that. I just waited until I had a whole one. They so pretty. I love the color. Yeah, like I said, I made some new ones today, and they was even prettier than these. Going to make these, y'all. They the perfect little snack. Look at that cheesecake in the middle. I'm finna go have one right now because I got a few of them left.